Hi you guys, it's KireiX. I am doing another video. Whoa, it's been a really long time. My hair's been through lots of different colors. I'm not sure what color it is right now other than like galactic colored. Anyway, so my studio behind me is actually organized and pretty darn clean. And I also did a few improvements to my space as far as storage and whatnot. So I figured, why not do a video of my studio as it is currently, since I haven't done one since I've moved into this space, and it's clean, so why not document it being clean for once, because it doesn't happen super often. But I hope you guys enjoy the stuff that I show you. I hope it's helpful to see how someone else organizes things. I'm sure I spend an insane amount of time and effort in organizing. Like, I pretty much go overboard, but I like knowing what I have. I like being able to see it out. Since I like rainbows of things, I like to see those rainbows. But I hope that this video is helpful, or at least somewhat useful to you guys. You know, I know I've said it before, but I really do hope to get back into making videos, and, you know, this particular one is one where I just, you know, was like, I don't need to get out all the big cameras and blah blah blah, you know, just tape something. Just do it. So hopefully this turns out, and like I said, is enjoyable. Please like, subscribe, favorite my stuff. I'll put links into all of my social media thingamathings so you can follow me. I am still also live streaming, but I think I'm on a different location than I was before, so you know, I'll have the information there so you can subscribe to me there if you want to join in when I'm doing live things. Yeah, on to the tour, and hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so we're going to do a tour of my art studio, and I figured I would just start by looking at my big SD dolls that I have up here on the shelf that are there to be all kinds of pretty, and yeah, I've actually been able to get all of my dolls into my doll room, which is really surprising because I am kind of to the limit. I don't really have any logistical places for dolls to go, but anyway, on to the tour. So I have a shelf of dolls, and I have some storage up top over on the left side. I have this piece of wood that it folds down to make a table for whatever you need an extra table for. And I have my comfy couch with my little cushions for guests to come over and sit and you know, have fun dolly time. And I guess we'll go over here. Door to leave. Storage up top for dolly boxes, because I keep all my boxes. Then my recent addition, my magnetic wall of MSD wigs. I mostly have MSDs, but these are all just MSD wigs. So, and they are just, these are steel plate, and then I have magnets. If they're heavier wigs, then I have two magnets on like this. If it's lighter, then I just have one. But these are just food containers that I got from a business Costco. So, but this gives me the flexibility to be able to, you know, reorganize as needed. Or, you know, pop one off the wall and throw it in a bag when I go to a doll meet if I want to change stuff, or someone wants to see a color from a company or whatever. So next I have these two shelves with magnet boards from IKEA in the middle. I like being able to have my Ralking corsets out, so I have little magnets I got from Daiso, and I make it so that the ribbon has a loop at the top that they hook onto, so I can store what corsets I have that aren't on dolls. I actually put quite a few corsets on dolls earlier today, which is why there are so many holes. But this is also where my cute little Pookie Fees live. I guess I'll do a different video with which all dolls are what. And then this pile of mess here are things that I'm trying to sell and make go away. I've posted a bunch of pictures of all this stuff, but I think I will kind of get it all more organized in a folder and put a link to it. That way you guys can see what's still available and if you still want something. So then we have my recently reorganized closet. I had a very good friend of mine over and we were talking about stuff, and they said, well, do you want to organize a closet? And I said, oh yes I do, because I was able to put up my diorama from Uncanny Dreams from a long time ago. So it's really nice to be able to have my, my, you know, children part of my unicorn story all out somewhere, kind of hanging out in somewhere that is, you know, of the kind of place they're supposed to be. I mean, I still want to do some stuff to the back walls, but it is very nice being able to have this put up somewhere, because I put a lot of time and effort and whatnot into it. So it's nice to be able to come in here and play with them and rearrange them and take a, you know, move them around and take pictures and whatnot. But then I do also have some other storage in here. I used to store everything in these plastic drawers. But I use those drawers more for like crafting supplies and stuff. There's not a whole lot of doll specific things in there, but it's nice to have that storage too. And I have doll boxes that are behind these because these don't go all the way to the wall, and my art stuff from college and whatnot. So then we move over here and I have my PAX custom shelving units from IKEA. They're really deep, so they work really well for doing doll dioramas, and you can make the shelves whatever height you want. But I feel like I chose a pretty good shelf size for MSD dioramas, and then I have the drawers at the bottom to be able to store all my doll stuff. And also up at the top, those are blinds, so I can actually pull the blinds down to give my dolls a bit more protection from sunlight, even though this room really doesn't get very sunny at all. But it's still nice to have that. And then I have storage for my doll bags up here, and I have some of my MSD doll boxes, not all of them. And yeah, so I've got to work on lighting for inside of the doll dioramas. I've found the stuff I want to get and do, but I haven't done it yet. It's, you know, there's always a project, always something to do. But so this is just up here is kind of just cloudland for now. Mostly because I've got to find somewhere else for these guys to go. Originally, these guys were in the other room, so I was going to have my four-legger guys up on here, but now these guys are here, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but for now, this is where they live, along with my kind of other smaller, just look pretty dolls. So, yeah, that's just nicknamed Cloudland. Then this one is supposed to be a jam music studio kind of place. It doesn't have, I mean, behind these guys you can't see really well. There's a bunch of like instruments and stuff. I haven't really focused on any of the dioramas you're going to see except maybe one, but even then they still all have quite a bit of work to be done. This top drawer has hair things and then all of my tiny stuff. So Little Fee, Poogie Fee, you know, YoSD. And then the next drawer is kind of parts. And they're not just like the human legs to my Soom dolls that have extra human bits. It's actually like sort of the usable, meant to be used part drawer. So I have, you know, like some Chalco legs, I have some Euclase legs, I have you know, dragon eggs and event things. I actually have this poor little doll that ended up being able to be Frankenstein together from other things that I had. Yeah, so that's that drawer. And then the one below, from here over, has all of my SD wigs, and then the rest of it to the right side is all of my MSD props and that aren't already out in other dioramas. I need to go through this drawer and get rid of some of these wigs because my SDs that I have are pretty much set in place, so I really don't need to have this many wigs, but I did go through a lot of trial and tribulation of which wigs to get for which characters, which is why I have so many. But, we'll do it eventually. And then this bottom drawer, I don't remember actually. Oh yeah, this is my SD. So, girl SD stuff, boy SD stuff. There's some stuff, I haven't even gone through this drawer at all. There's a number of things in this drawer I need to go through and maybe get rid of, but one day, we'll see. So then on to here, so like before, doll bag storage. This is currently what Lilu's apartment is set up to be. This needs to be redesigned and sort of redone. I just kind of threw stuff in here, but it's okay for now. Yeah, and I've got some other little creatures that live here. This little monster guy that I got at L Doll, and I've got some little BJD fish that live in here too. They like to play in the sink, so that's where they stay. Evidently they can breathe without being fully submerged. Then next down, this is Lilu's art studio, which happens to be crowded by a lot of people right now for some reason. You know, she's got a art desk in the back and an easel and this little sculpting project of hers and bottles of glitter and whatnot for projects and a couch to hang out on and some storage stuff. But of course, you know, Skittles and the other dragon have to hang out somewhere, and then their human forms are in the back. And then we have some of the Fae company managers, and then I don't know who she is yet. I've had an influx of dolls. Some go, some come in, and I'm still figuring out where all the pieces fit. And then I have my Uno light in the back. This is my head drawer, which some of you guys might have seen before. This is an invention that my boyfriend and I came up with. It's very awesome. It's nice being able to store all my heads and not be too worried about them getting messed up. Then in this drawer, I have sort of miscellaneous storage things. This is my eyeball box. I have S-hooks and eyeballs and my stringing bag that always goes to doll meets because someone always needs help stringing. My tiny extras box, doll heart box, just because it didn't fit in the other drawer with the other doll box, doll heart stuff. A box of miscellaneous sort of hands and shoes and ears and stringing things that go in my doll bag when I go places, just in case I forget my actual full stringing box. I have a box of feet, and then a box of hands below, box of faceplates, jewelry, this one is food, stringing box, and then there's one of these in the corner that is weapons and such, because this guy collects weapons and another guy. And then this drawer is kind of hodgepodge. Stuff for wrapping up dolls to go to meet so they're protected, you know, pillows and cloths to get wrapped around them, and face masks. Some doll heart outfits, and then these have hats that I recently got at Resin Rose. I apologize, I do not remember the name of the vendor, but these are very nice, very pretty hats. And then if we go up here, this is where my twins live. This is kind of their office, so you can't see in the back, but it's got a bunch of really fancy furniture, and there's tea sets everywhere because they collect tea sets. But these are kind of the main characters that go with my twins on either end. But that's a whole big story we'll get into some other time. Then here, this I would say is sort of my most developed diorama that I have. It's the green room of Caprica, my drag queen, and all the characters that are pretty closely aligned with him are in this room, and you know, there's clothes everywhere, and there's makeup and extra shoes, and flowers and, you know, stuff that works well for being a green room. In this drawer, I've got currently just a bunch of photography stuff because I need to really organize and figure out where that all is going to go. This is my shoe drawer, and I have little boxes of organizing my shoes, and then the boxes don't fit boots, so I have boots organized otherwise. And then this is my MSD drawer of kind of modern clothes, so I have pants, leggings, skirts, dresses, and then different sweaters, coats, t-shirts, tank tops, shorts, skirt, you know, mini skirts, not foofy skirts, underwear, and then sort of miscellaneous kind of stuff up in the front. And then this bottom drawer is my fancy schmancy outfit drawer. So it's all the sort of princessy, Lolita, aristocrat kind of stuff. Pretty much my twins and the Amalthea and Ellipsis crew kind of get dressed out of here. So that is those guys. So then on to where stuff actually happens. I've got some storage space up here, and I have a paper towel holder thing that it's supposed to be mounted this way, but we did it that way because why not? It's easier to tear the rolls off and you don't end up using a ton of it. My smock thing, so I hopefully don't ruin all of my clothes. Let me get this out of the way a little bit. I have my pastels, and then my shimmer powders, and then I have gouaches down here. I have magnet strips for holding various tools, you know, ribbon and C-clamps and scissors and fingernail clippers and tweezers and whatnot. And I've got little jars in the back for paint and water and blah blah blah. The little finger gloves that just, you know, go down part of your finger. Because sometimes it's nice not to wear a whole glove, especially when it's hot summer and stuff. This big amazing thing in the back with all the sticks and the parts and stuff. My boyfriend and I came up with this as well to be able to work on multiple projects at the same time and not have to worry about my stuff getting knocked over and messed up. And I had a previous system to this that you know, I'd get almost to the end of working on my stuff and then it would tip over and things went everywhere and it was just not good. So the dolls I have sitting here on the table are, this is a friend of mine that is here visiting for a little bit, and these are two of mine that are kind of on the chopping block. So we're deciding what's going to happen with them. I might end up putting them for sale. Sticky tack, because I use a lot of sticky tack for stuff. I have these nice little drawers in the back from IKEA for holding various things. Gloves, Q-tips, white erasers, cotton balls, blah blah blah. Then I have some brushes and some lesser used mediums and stuff at the bottom. I found these bottles here that are like pump top. So you put a cotton ball on the top and you press it and it brings the liquid up in it, so it goes only in your cotton ball. I love the crap out of these. I use a lot less medium, and it's just a lot cleaner and it's really great. I found them at like the drugstore. They were supposed to be for just, you know, nail polish remover, but I took the nail polish remover out, and you know, I've got 409 for cleaning my surfaces. I've got acetone, which I don't use very often, but sometimes it's necessary. And then I have Winsor Newton, which I use quite a bit. And then, you know, various airbrush mediums, matte medium, golden polymer varnish, and then another brand of matte medium, or actually one's matte varnish, one's matte medium. And then I have my Airbrush filter thing with my mask that I wear. The filter thing goes out the window. It actually does a pretty good job, but you know, you get one set of lungs. You may as well protect it. So I try my best to remember to wear my filtered mask, and I do change the filters and that type of thing. And then I have some more of the same mediums from over there in dripper bottles because that's really nice to have sometimes. And then this is just a squeezy bottle for water because it's nice. And I put little Velcro dots on the bottom so I can have them up here. So they're easy to reach from, you know, either space. And they have somewhere to sit and I can tell where things are. And they have a place to go back to. The big thing about being organized for me is having things in a place where they are useful to be there, but are also easy to put back. So I've actually had this set up for a little while and it's worked out pretty well. It's easy to clean up and I haven't really felt like something is not in a good place so far anyway. And then over here I have my airbrush. One of my airbrushes is a little cleaner tank so you can spray your leftover ook in here. I have my second airbrush. Sculpey stuff, fancy watercolor, ink, painting paintbrushes here. All of my glue, like glues, fabric glues and stuff. Crap brushes for, you know, whatever, cleaning dolls and whatnot. I have a pencil sharpener, which actually is a really good pencil sharpener. Someone gave that to me, and I'm really glad because it's really nice. And then in these bowls I have sort of ongoing projects that will get finished sometime eventually. Let's see. And I have these really nice, I don't know if you guys noticed, I have these really nice lamps that are really bright and they're daylight colored. There's nothing worse than painting under some really yellow light and think you have the color that you want really fabulous. And then you take your doll to a doll meet and you're like, oh God, that is not the color I was going for. So, and then over here, I have sort of jewelry tools here in the back. The pink mat is for when I'm doing hot gluing. It's a silicone mat, so hot glue can get on it, but it's really easy to peel off. I have my hot glue gun, my detail hot glue gun, so it's got a really tiny nozzle on it. I have this arm. It's for attaching a camera to. I've been trying to tape from up down on stuff I've been doing, and I haven't gotten anything that's been really great so far. But we're working on it. So then I have, this is my box of Dremel bits. This is my box of nail stuff for doing nails on dolls. Hot glue stuff, glue sticks, sanding, drilling things, gloves, Q-tips, cotton balls. This is like a bath arm thing you can get from IKEA, but I found it's great for putting tape and glasses, and my Dremel actually hangs off of it, and my Ponyo does. Then I have some more magnet boards. This one holds like all of my wings and horns and crowns and extra magnets for things, and actually some tails at the bottom too. Then over here we have little unique little findings for detail stuff, rivets, little tiny micro beads, and then more little findings for gluing on to stuff, little holographic stickers, Sumi painting brushes. Then I have some like nail decal things that aren't rhinestones or jewels, lenses for my iPads and stuff, wings I got off of Etsy, and then this is all my Swarovski jewels, and then this whole wall over here is all my glitters, and then I have another magnet bar here that has, you know, scissors, bottle opener, because sometimes you need beer to work. Forceps and ribbon for stringing things. Magnet pole thing, because sometimes you got to pick up that magnetic thing that flew away. Little ruler, some like rubber brushes, so they're like good for sculpting and whatnot. And then a pokey thing and another brush. And then I haven't figured out what to do with this thing yet. This was a gift from a friend, so it's just got a bunch of beads. I need to figure out where that goes and how I'm going to use it. And then this is my project for tomorrow. So necklaces I'm working on. My sewing machine, I guess we could do under here too. Sewing machine, my vacuum, and then my box of bubble wrap for shipping things. These are sewing boxes. So I have ribbons and hook and eyes and safety pins and all that type of jazz in here. This is all like trims and ribbons and stuff. This is all of my fabrics. These are extra like artist paints, oil paints, acrylic paints, blah blah blah. More ribbon here, and then this box is my big box, or my big bottles of my solvents, like my Winsor Newton and the Airbrush sealant stuff, whatnot. Because I'll get these 40% off coupons from Blick, and it's like, why not get the big bottle? You know, I just make sure that I shake it up every once in a while, and it's good to go. So then this is all sanding stuff and sticky notes, because sometimes I leave myself sticky notes for certain things when I have too many projects going on. And these are all of my liquid acrylics. And these are some of my airbrush paints, tube watercolors, different mediums, and watercolor palettes and watercolor mediums. So like masking fluid and sparkly stuff and whatnot, and sponges, so you get texture. There were some gouaches in there too. These just have some of my sketchbooks. And this is all my markers of all different kinds. And then over here, ironing board, extra power, because who doesn't need extra power? My iron, some parts I need to put up, overflow of stuff to refill other things that I have up top, and some of my airbrush parts, and just storage of things. Extra doll parts, like the human parts of stuff that I have, and my doll certificates. And then turn on the lights over here. This is, I love these little glasses from like Sally's. They're Dappin dishes, but they're great for mixing small amounts of paint, or having solvents or whatever. My gloss mediums, my watercolor pencils, my pastel pencils. Because believe it or not, pastel pencils actually end up being somewhat useful sometimes. I shouldn't have that there. I love these things. They're Lutz head string pullers, so you can fiddle with the hooks in their heads. Painting stuff, some sanding stuff. This is some brushes and cleaning stuff. And then eyelashes, tons of eyelashes. I love Daiso. And then jewelry stuff and sculpey stuff, which I haven't really done any sculpey stuff. I need to. It seems like it'd be a lot of fun. This is my foiling drawer. And this one is kind of just random electronics, and also these busts I got from Lutz, so I can take good pictures of some of the work that I've done. But yeah, so that's it. That's my space.